नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nityanandam, and welcome everyone for yet another live satsangs and show on this Chaturmasya day. Today, we are going to be listening to a powerful truth from Swamiji on enriching. Bhagavan says, when you enrich others, life enriches you. We have a special guest today who lives enriching as her life. Ma Nitya Atmadayananda, House of Representative of Europe Sangha, today has joined us to share her journey of enriching, why she chooses to enrich. She's here to open her heart and share a deeply personal journey. How her life was transformed by living just this one powerful truth that when you enrich others, life enriches you. From fear to fulfillment, hesitation to spiritual strength, she reveals how choosing to take responsibility for others didn't just uplift those around her, it awakened something profound within her. Karma started melting, joy started flowing, and the cosmos began responding. Through real life experiences and raw honesty, Ma Atmadaya shows how enriching is not just an action, it's a space, a decision, a powerful spiritual vow that rewires your entire being. So today, let us join to witness what happens when you decide to live beyond yourself. And even including this show, how he has joined tonight. I think it's past midnight for her, but she has decided to join and enrich. So thank you, Manitya Atmadayananda, for joining us. And can you introduce yourself, please?
Thank you so much, Ma Prematma Swami, for having me here. And yeah, I have to say it was Ma Prematma Swami that enriched me to be here. So thank you, first of all. I feel that for myself, I'm very, very grateful to be, as you introduced me as the HR for Europe and UK. And this is a space of leadership that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has blessed me to be in. And when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, ordains, he sustains. So, really, the main job is just staying put and allowing the journey to unfold, if I were to say. So, when you were introducing me, I realized the whole thing has been an adventure, and it has been seen in school and class and college, university. We sit in class and learn the any subject, topic, the facts or statistics or truths or whatever it is about that particular topic. Here, the entire life is a classroom, and there is Swamiji as Guru taking me through, everyone through, but I can say that myself, the way I see it is he's taking me through every lesson, step by step, day by day. And when I fail a test or an exam, he's there to correct. So really, the whole thing is an adventure, and I can say it can be like an analogy of being in a classroom and learning, except it's life. So it kind of ties in with enriching. That's what I have to share for now. I'll keep unfolding things as we move, as we progress.
So beautifully said, Mom. Actually, it is life is even more serious than a classroom, right? It is important that every step is done beautifully.
Right. And it's because of I would say even more so, the Paramashiva Sena programs that I've attended. I've had the fortune of being able to attend twice this year. And I feel that because of that, there has been like even more of an opening and even more of life being a, how do you call it, like the learnings happening deeper and deeper. So it was one of the sessions that I was in during Paramashiva Sena, and I made a mistake, and I used to be really, really afraid of making mistakes. And I found myself having made one actually, and not only that, it was another Sangha member who pointed it out, but also live in exactly a situation like this. And I found myself spiraling a little bit into powerlessness. And the acharyas actually said something very powerful. They said, see, it's just a case of correcting something that has happened, which didn't go according to plan. So there is nothing to get into powerlessness. It's something to be corrected and move forward. I was like, yes, of course, but in life, I've never experienced a mistake in that way. I've experienced a mistake as a failure. So simple things like this, it became very much a learning experience in life without it being such a, extreme generalization, black and white. It's either win or lose kind of experience. So I found myself really, I can say that the whole thing has been a beautiful adventure so far. So, enriching in terms of expansion, um, and it's directly related to expanding myself and life in and around me. So, of course, with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being there as our beloved Guru, um, each day, each moment, every person that comes in front becomes a live learning experience. So whether it is something where I'm falling into powerlessness, somewhere I may be having a delusion, there it is right in front of me. As Swamiji says, life is occurring to us with others. Where others are, that's where life is occurring. So the expansion has been amazing. So reaching out to people, whether there are people that I know, whether people I don't know, or it's into the vast, there is 8 billion people on planet Earth. There are millions of people in UK itself, in Europe. Reaching out to each and every one of them even has become an adventure. So I would say this has been a beautiful opportunity from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. One of the things I would say is when the four powers were introduced, which is integrity, authenticity, responsibility, and enriching. There were literally a few hundred satsangs. I said for 2.5 years, Swamiji spoke on the four powers, and so they said pretty much every day. So 365 days times two plus that. So you're looking at just under what 700, 800 or so, nine, even just under 1,000 satsangs just on the four powers. And integrity, authenticity, responsibility has been for me the first. Swamiji said the three of them, when we're doing and living fully, then enriching happens by itself. And it's been an interesting journey to learn all four live in life as they unfold. So not just in a classroom where I may get a chance to correct things, but with people experiencing the four powers. So all four go together, and when the first three are really lived, then enriching happens by itself. This is something that stuck with me.
So beautiful, Ma. You've explained it so beautifully. Actually, you've mentioned one thing, which is you mentioned that before Swamiji, you used to have this fear, and then you've also mentioned that after Swamiji, you've experienced expansion, and very often, the fear is actually Swamiji mentioned that all fears they just boil down to the fear of death, which is equivalent to the fear of expansion, right? So, can you share with us, Ma, when was the first time you've met Swamiji? And when you met him, what was it that really clicked with you the moment you met him? And many of us, right? When we see Swamiji for the first time, we'll have, for example, we'll immediately know that Swamiji is our guru, or we'll just cry, and this is when we know Swamiji said that this is our last birth. So for you, would you share with us, how was it for you when you first met Swamiji, and when did you first meet Swamiji?
I got to know about Swamiji. Swamiji actually found me. I would say I met Swamiji. Swamiji found me in 2009. And that was the time where I actually pretty much every part of my life, whether it is finance, so my career, I had just come out of, I was actually just divorced, and not many people know this about me. So I had a breakdown in marriage, breakdown in career, breakdown in relationships with my parents. It was a very dark time, a troubled time, and you know, I was already on a journey to find solutions, but I hadn't found it. So I got into personal development somewhere around 2001, 2001. But 2009 is when I had tested out many different, my bookshelf was filled with books. I had every book that came out, every CD that came out, because I loved audiobooks. And still the breakdown happened. So I found myself looking for a solution. And I remember one day I was experimenting with new business. And on the way back, I was like, I just had this feeling, yeah, I'm really ready for meditation. I'm really ready for it. I'm going to look for something, is the thought I had. And not very far from home is where I had a thought. When I got home, there was a leaflet on the doormat, and I picked it up and I looked at it and I was like, I don't know, there's something about this leaflet. I need to explore this. I need to call the number. So I called the three numbers. Out of the three, two didn't answer and one did. And they mentioned that there was a program called, it was Life Bliss Program 1, which was about 7 chakras. And I was like, no, I'm busy that weekend. I can't make it. However, I'm really keen to come. So I would like to know more. Will you please kindly stay in touch with me or let me know when there's other programs? That's what I said to the gentleman. And then I had this habit of keeping piles of things. Like I would keep piles of very important documents in one place. And then every few days I would go through them. And I remember then I would decide, okay, this is something I'm going to throw away. This is something I'm going to keep, out of that pile. And the leaflet kept coming back into the pile of I need to contact them. I need to contact them. Finally, a few weeks later, I did end up going to an evening meditation, and the meditation was Nitya Dhyan meditation, and it was on a Monday, and it's somewhere around about 6:30 in the evening. So I decided to attend this one, and then I went to this program, and this meditation. I was expecting like a large crowd, and there was 3-4 of us at the time, and something happened during Nitya Dhyan meditation, something so profound that I'm still here. That was 2009. I'm still here. It's 2025. That whatever my being was looking for, I got it. I got the experience and I wanted more. I felt something. I cannot explain to you. There weren't any tears as such at the time. I just knew I had to change everything Monday evening. Anytime somebody said, "Oh, can you meet me on a Monday evening?" I'll be like, "No, I have something important I need to get to." And it was so important that that whole time they would, between the three of us, sometimes the person on my right would not come, the person on my left would be there, so I would sit in the middle. And there are times when the person on my left wouldn't come, the person on my right would be there. And there are some times when both were not there. And there were times when even the coordinator was not there. None of them were there. I was there with the CD player, with the CD, making sure that on a Monday I was there because I was getting so much out of it. Then I started reading the Living Enlightenment. There was only one book, one Living Enlightenment book, and I would borrow it, and then I would have the coordinator saying, "Can I have it back?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, no, I don't want to give it back." But this is, going through the Living Enlightenment book, and then it progressed, and then finally I attended the seven chakra meditation, and then it grew into then attending Kalpataru, and then finally one day I got to meet Swamiji, and that was after I had become an acharya and taken up responsibility for expansion. Actually, I had this desire that something should happen, something in UK should happen. Like, we need to grow. This is, I didn't have the word enriching at the time because Swamiji had not introduced it as such, as a term for us all to learn and expand. So I was like, this is back in 2011. And I was the last person in the whole group that would have ended up in LA in the training. And it was a 13-day, well, it was 10 days, but I was there for 13 days in LA. I was the worst participant because I forgot all my content. I went blank. I was in tears, and not tears of bliss, tears of powerlessness because I went blank. And I'm sure I heard people feeling really bad for me. However, I persevered. I mean, I was like, no, I'm just gonna keep going. And by day 10, I even forgot why I was there at the temple. Such a beautiful journey with Swamiji. I know he took care because I just decided to turn up and say, right, let's do this. So I still had not physically met Swamiji yet. Okay, so it's 2011 December is when I first met Swamiji, and when I listened to Aarti, the Nityananda Aarti, which we offer to Swamiji, I just melt because I formally met Swamiji on stage, but it was this cat and mouse thing. Like, I was wanting to get a glimpse of Swamiji. I was there 2 days early before the program started, and I saw Swamiji. There's people going, I saw Swamiji, walking around in Bidadi. And I was like, oh God, I don't know where do I need to be so I can see Swamiji? And then I would see like a glimpse, a shadow, and then he was gone. But the Arati, just melted me. I felt Swamiji in the temple near the banyan tree, just walking around. His essence is just there. How many times have I met Swamiji, during Nitya Dhyan, during Kalpataru, during the actual Lifeless program, during the whole training while at LA. When I got to the temple, I had tears in my eyes, and I was like, what? I was just having a tour, and I was like, what? I didn't understand why I had tears in my eyes. Years later, when I sat to just be in the space of the temple again, I realized I felt love. For the first time in my whole life, I felt love. It's not what I expected because it sneaked up on me. Many times I would have said to people, I love you. It's not the same. It's not the same. It was somewhere I could just melt. I didn't need to pretend to be something else. I didn't need to please anyone or be someone. Just this silence, and it was fine to be me. Just it was instant acceptance, instant safety. So how many times have I met Swamiji? I know he's there in LA. Every time I have attended a program, every time I have read a book of Swamiji, I've met Swamiji. So there's been multiple introductions. I cannot say I met Swamiji once. It's been every time there's been a new dimension or something deeper that I have felt, got to know about him, So there's every so many times I could go on and on. If you don't stop me, I'm gonna take over the entire 2 hours. Ma Prematma is smiling. So I have to tell you, if you
Yes,
see,
please go
I have
ahead.
another incident.
Yes, go ahead, ma'am. Definitely.
So the actual meeting, the physical meeting with Swamiji. So there I was in Birdi for Inner Awakening, November, December 2011. And the whole hide and seek, where's Swamiji? He's just walked past, he's just gone in, he's just done this, and I'm like, everybody is having darshan except me. And then on the first day, I knew where to sit because I had figured it out. The last 2 days I was like, oh, where to sit here. If I sit here, I'll be able to see the stage, and all this I'd figured out. And then I found my spot. I was very comfortable. We knew, okay, the red curtains are on. The red curtains are on. The red curtains can move anytime. Be ready, be ready. So there I was perfect. I was spotted. Perfect spot I got. And then I had my other people from UK that had come and they were sitting next to me. So we were all like, yeah, ready. And then we know the cue for when the curtains are going to open. So that is the moment I was like, this is going to be the perfect moment. I'm going to close my eyes and I am going to just wait. I know when the curtains will be open, I'll open my eyes and there will be Swamiji. First time I'm seeing Swamiji physically. So I had my eyes closed and I had my hands in Anjali Mudra. And then I knew the curtains had opened. Everybody was like, this beautiful. And I opened my eyes and there was this big camera in front. So I can't see Swamiji and Swamiji can't see me. And I'm like, what? This was not the good spot to sit. And I'm looking at my next door neighbor and she's like melting and I'm like, what? Tomorrow I'm gonna sit over there. This is me planning already for next. I was like, okay, it's okay. There's another opportunity tomorrow. And then I just decided to what you would call unclutch. Okay. And then I said, it's fine. And then suddenly the cameraman and the camera moved and Swamiji gave darshan. And I felt like he looked right at me at that moment. I was like, wow. So, it was like a little play from the cosmos going, you thought you got the right spot, the great spot, la la la, it's all perfect. You know how we all have this, it has to be perfect. And I was one of these people. It has to be perfect. So it was one of the most imperfect, perfect. So you just go with the flow of the cosmos. And then that was the first moment. And then there were times when the first time Swamiji spoke to me and he said, I love you. And I was like, did you speak to me, Swamiji? You know, this like the divine speaking to such beautiful moments. Swamiji saying, I love you. And after 2 days, I convinced myself I made it up in my head. I just convinced myself, like, why would Swamiji talk to me and say, I love you? So I convinced myself, no, he didn't say, I just said nothing. So then, 2, 3 days later, I go back on stage. He says, I love you, Ma. And I'm like, no, this time it really happened. So this whole thing was starting the journey for me to love me. Swamiji starting the whole process of, you know, that Swamiji's love coming to me and then returning back to him, that process. So that circuit beginning happened there. There was a moment I was like, really? Are you me? So, and then many, many, many more experiences. Yes.
Definitely, Ma. I mean, it is, of course, such a beautiful journey. You have put it in such a humorous way. But aren't you glad you stayed up tonight?
Yes. Once the commitment is made, it's like, yeah, it's fine. Expansion is good. So yes, I am. I'm glad. And
So
seeing you,
nice.
seeing you laugh, seeing you laugh. Yes, well worth it.
Oh, God. It's so beautiful. And of course, you made it humorous. And of course, Swamiji has his own way playing with this when you think you got figured it out.
I
Then, of
know.
course, so beautiful, Ma. See, one of the things that today, as we were discussing on a topic for you, one of the things that popped up was enriching. Being the House of Representative for the Europe and UK Sangha, something that you have taken up very personally is enriching others. And that is what today we are going to listen to from Swamiji as well. But I would like to hear from you. How has that experience been for you? Because one of them, somebody in UK, decided to enrich and they left that leaflet at your doorstep.
Right,
That changed your life forever. So that one simple act of them putting the leaflet made a
right,
huge difference, a world of difference for you.
right.
And you have taken that on your shoulders to being the House of Representative and enriching others. Would you like to share your journey on that?
Yes. Actually, this is where I say Swamiji found me. Um, but to because it's both, right? So I've been the one enriched, and I'm also in the space where I get to share with others. And it's been, again, with Swamiji's grace, it's a very dynamic learning. It isn't a case of the for example, the actual definition of enriching is us taking responsibility with integrity and authenticity, that I am committing to continuously enriching, which is actually expanding myself and life in and around me. So whenever we are committed to enriching ourselves and everyone around us, life showers you with the best of everything. So again, the fact that that person decided to, you know, that person decided, right, let's reach out to others and have others experience this bliss. That landed with me beautifully, and I genuinely needed it at that time. I was looking already for a solution, and I feel that so many people in the world are looking for solutions. And sometimes we may think, oh, it needs to come in a particular package, right? For me, it came with the leaflet, and Swamiji was definite. Swamiji was on the, I still have the leaflet. Swamiji on the leaflet there, his murti on the leaflet, and a blurb about, about meditation, etc. Is not the writing that struck me because I had read something like that before. It is something about, I was like, there's something about this. and I couldn't put my finger on it, but it was a deep being space saying there's something about this I need to explore. And I decided to explore. So that, then me going and feeling the bliss, feeling relief from so many years of pain, meant I I automatically felt I want to do something, right? I want to, it actually started with me wanting to attend the seven chakra program, and there were not many people for the program. So my first volunteer activity was to give leaflets outside the yoga event. And I was feeling awkward first because I was giving out to strangers, like feeling a little bit awkward. And then as I gave out the leaflets, I something happened. Even if people said no, I was smiling. I just went into this bliss space, very light, and I was like, yeah, it's okay. If you don't come, no problem. Have a look at the leaflet, read it. There was more energy that happened, and just this joy started happening. It wasn't work. I don't even know where the 4 hours went. And so many leaflets were distributed. So it's the it's the experience of giving out the leaflet. So life added back to me, even giving out simple leaflets. So the decision to enrich, to expand, it's not a reward system. Okay, so in at workplace or in life, in general life, meaning when I say life, like society, if you do something, like if you sell 10 things, you might get some remuneration back for this, or if you do this, you get this back. It's not like that. It is not a conditional. If I give out 1,000 leaflets, after 1,000 leaflets, then I'm going to experience bliss. It's not like that. The decision to just go out and start and get past my own awkwardness means the decision to, from one becoming many itself, the expansion started. So it is that experience of enriching that propelled me to go ahead and continue further on. So a few things happened until the point where I decided in 2011 that I would say yes to becoming an acharya, because in UK at that moment in time, we needed to bring acharyas from another country, and that was a long process. So the obvious solution to me felt like, okay, so if somebody in UK itself was an acharya, then programs could be conducted, sessions could be had, and therefore more expansion can happen a lot faster, rather than it being a 4 month or a 6 month, or longer periods of time as expansion. So there, then I go back to 2011. In January 2011, very reluctantly I put my name forward, because I had this fear of, and actually a very clear decision in me. Decision, it was more like a belief in me that I don't think I'm going to succeed as an acharya, but I'm going to put my name forward anyway. And then I very sincerely read at the time, to prepare for the acharya training in Los Angeles, we needed to read the guaranteed solution 6 times. We had the 7 chakra DVDs that we had, which Swamiji had conducted. So that was, I think, 6 hours long, and we needed to watch that 6 times. And then we had to write 20 pages on each chakra. And there was further other preparation as well that we needed to do. And the guaranteed solutions is 600 pages. So reading 600 pages 6 times, and the time frame that I had was 5 weeks. So I calculated, because now once I'd committed, I was going to go through it. So what I did was I worked out how long it was taking me to read one page, and then I divided that by, like I multiplied that by 600. Then I figured out how many hours I would need to read per day, and what time I would need to wake up to make sure that that particular day that number of pages got read. So I then figured out I also had 20 pages on each chakra to write, and then I had the 6-hour DVDs to watch 6 times. So, well, I figured all of that out, and then work backwards. Work backwards means then I had obviously preparation to do for the, get my luggage and stuff ready, etc., etc. So all this preparation I did, and I did all of it. So I read Guaranteed Solution 6 times. I wrote the 20 pages on each chakra. I watched the DVDs, and we had to read the Living Enlightenment book as well, which was 800 pages. I think that was once. So I read that too. All of this was done, and then I went to LA. And then when I got there, when it came to being on stage and sharing, I went blank. I went completely blank and in tears when I decided to stand up and start again. So in terms of the journey, enriching, it has been a decision. The person that decided to expand, allow expansion to happen, share Swamiji with everyone, share the bliss with everyone, that had led for me to then receive that, and then me in turn feeling, yes, this is also something I'm convinced everybody will benefit from, has kept me in the journey. So yes,
So sweet, Ma. And actually, Ma, today you are an amazing acharya. Especially, you've been conducting Kalpataru sessions so frequently for the Europe and the African zone. So, and it all started with that one leaflet, from being afraid and not having confidence in yourself. And just this one leaflet brought so much of changes in you. That is just so amazing to hear. And for our audience who may not be too familiar with the term enriching, we will hear from Swamiji what is enriching and how enriching itself is a power. It is not just a word, it is not just a quality, it is actually a power that can be awakened in each one of us. And Swamiji shares so beautifully how enriching others and life itself, that enriches us. So let us hear from Swamiji about enriching for deeper understanding, and then we'll come back with Mahatmadaya for more for more questions. And of course, I haven't laughed in a very long time, like how I've been laughing today on this show, Ma, just listening to your experiences. It's so sweet and so amazing. So yes, so let us watch from Swamiji now.
नित्यानन्देश्वरसमारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। इस समय हमारे साथ उपस्थित सभी दर्शकों और भक्तों का मैं प्रेम एवं आशीर्वाद सहित स्वागत करता हूँ। आज सबसे पहले महाराष्ट्र के सभी भक्तों को गुड़ी पड़वा की हार्दिक शुभेच्छा। गुड़ी पड़वा की त्योहार चैत्र मास का पहले दिन मनाई जाती है। चैत्र नवरात्र की आरंभ को लेकर आज के दिन घटस्थापना या कलश स्थापना होती है। संस्कृत भाषा में पड़वा का अर्थ है चंद्रमा की उज्जवल रूप। इस पवित्र त्योहार के अवसर पे आप सबको मेरा हार्दिक बधाई एवं आशीर्वाद। Today is also Uhadi. My blessings to all the devotees from Karnataka and devotees from Andhra and the people of Karnataka and people of Andhra. Let this year be auspicious for all of us. Blessings. This year is the year of victory, Vijaya. It will be victory for us in all forms. Today, I'll expand on the fourth principle of life, enriching, how it transforms the reality of your life. आज की सत्संग में हम जीवन के चौथे तत्व लाभान्वित करना कैसे आपके जीवन की वास्तविकता को परिवर्तित करती है उसके बारे में बात करेंगे। First I will define enriching once again. Enriching is you taking responsibility with integrity and authenticity that you are committed to continuously enriching, which is expanding yourself and life in and around you. पहले लाभान्वित करने की परिभाषा पुनः सुनिए। लाभान्वित करने का अर्थ है आप संपूर्ति एवं श्रद्धा के साथ उत्तरदायित्व लेते हैं कि आप लगातार स्वयं को और आपके अंदर एवं बाहर के जीवन को लगातार लाभान्वित करने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हो। Enriching you and others transforms your reality. लाभान्वित करना मत शब्द ही लाभान्वित करती है। Always people feel, I have seen many of the disciples, seekers come and tell me, Swamiji, from now we will start living with integrity, authenticity, responsibility and build our future as we want. But what about all the mess up we have done in the past? All the mess up we have done in the past, what about that? How to get rid of that karma? I tell you, enriching you and others, you take one step more than responsibility. That alone can burn the past lack of integrity, inauthenticity and irresponsibility. What is enriching? One step further, going one step further, integrity, authenticity and responsibility. Please understand, enriching is taking responsibility for everyone, taking responsibility to remove everyone's inauthenticity, everyone's lack of integrity. When you serve the country, country serves you. When you serve somebody, the person serves you. When you enrich, cosmos is so happy with you. The whole universe serves you. Enriching you and others alone can transform the reality of your life. केवल स्वयं को एवं अन्य लोगों को लाभान्वित करने से ही आप अपने जीवन का वास्तविकता को रूपांतरित कर सकते हैं. Enriching is taking responsibility for everyone. लाभान्वित करने का अर्थ है कि आप सबके लिए उत्तरदायित्व लेते हैं. I tell you from my own experience. Just because I decide to enrich, all the religious persecution, the attack done against me has become powerless. It lost its power. स्वयं को और दूसरों को लाभान्वित करना उत्तरदायित्व लेने से एक कदम अधिक है. बस वही आपके जीवन को परिवर्तित कर सकती है. आपके अतीत की असंपूर्ति, अश्रद्धा, गैर जिम्मेदारी सभी को भस्म कर सकती है. Constantly people ask me, especially the spiritual seekers, they ask me, Swamiji, we understand we should practice integrity, authenticity, even responsibility. But why should we enrich others? Please listen. For you, life happens with others. You are not living in a forest, inside a deep, dark cave where nobody is there. Your life is all in you, for you, by you. No one knows you, you don't know anybody. If you are living like that, then you don't need to wonder or think, worry about enriching. But your life is not like that, where you are involved with hundreds of people and hundreds of people are involved with your life. Sometimes thousands are involved. If you are a public figure, millions are involved. When your life is involved with so many people and so many people's life is involved with you, if you want any transformation in your life, I tell you, you have to work on transforming others' life also. Otherwise, you may do continuously meditation for days, months, raise yourself to a very high level of joy and bliss. The moment you come back to your house, in 10 minutes your spouse can bring you down. 10 minutes is more than enough. One look, one word, you are down. Or even one phone call, you can be down. Only with enriching, listen, only with enriching, your life can go through any transformation. Only with enriching any transformation is possible. Without enriching, nothing is possible. I tell you from my own experience, मैं स्वयं के अनुभव से रहा हूँ, केवल मेरे विश्व को लाभान्वित करने का निर्णय से ही मेरे ऊपर किया गया धार्मिक अत्याचार शक्तिहीन हो गया है। कई बार लोग मुझे पूछते हैं मैं दूसरों को लाभान्वित क्यों करूं? लिसन केयरफुली, ध्यान दीजिए। आप कोई जंगल में नहीं जी रहे हैं। आपका जीवन लगातार अन्य लोगों से जुड़ा हुआ है, इसीलिए अन्य लोगों को लाभान्वित करना बहुत आवश्यक है। When many people are involved in your life and your life is involved with many people, enriching is important, necessary for any transformation. Listen, if you want to be wealthy, have the company of wealthy people, or people who are in your company make them wealthy. If you want to be healthy, be in the company of healthy people or make the people in your company healthy. If you want to be spiritual, listen, have the company of spiritual people or the people who are in your company make them spiritual. There's no other way. As by nature, your mind is programmed to go out. Like Krishna says, by your nature, your senses are programmed to go out. You are programmed to go out. Going out can only be in two ways. Either to enrich or swindle. Surely swindling others is not going to transform you. Only enriching others is going to transform you. अगर आप धनवान बनना चाहते हैं, तब धनवान लोगों के संग रहिए। अगर आप शक्तिशाली बनना चाहते हैं, तो शक्तिशाली लोगों के संग रहिए। अगर आप आध्यात्मिक बनना चाहते हैं, तो आध्यात्मिक लोगों के संग में रहिए। For any big achievement, you have to have the company of that people. संभाविक रूप से, स्वाभाविक रूप से आपका मन बाहर जाने के लिए बनाया गया है। Only when all those dimensions of you, the commitments of you are complete, honored, you can experience fulfillment. You can experience restful awareness. Internalize. Continuously internalize whatever I am saying to experience the reality of your choice in your life. You should first transform and enrich the reality of others around you. आपके जीवन में अपने मन चाहा वास्तविकता को अनुभव करने के लिए पहले आप अपने करीब अन्य लोगों की वास्तविकता को रूपांतरित एवं लाभान्वित कीजिए। Only when people around you are living with the highest integrity and authenticity, you will be experiencing the complete integrity and authenticity. Only when people around you live with responsibility, you will start enjoying the power of responsibility. Till then, you are only in the practicing mode. Listen. As long as people around you don't practice integrity, authenticity, responsibility, you are only struggling. You will only be struggling and practicing, because constantly your mind will tell, I am so integrated but others don't reciprocate it. I am so responsible, others don't reciprocate it. So any day it can be, your responsibility can be broken, integrity can be broken, authenticity can be broken. But if you have enriched and others also are living the integrity and authenticity, integrity becomes reality in your life when everyone around you is living it. Authenticity becomes satya, reality in your life when everybody around you starts living it. You will start enjoying responsibility when everyone around you. You are totality of many dimensions you are living. Only when all those dimensions, commitments are complete, honored, you can experience fulfillment. You can experience restful awareness. आप कई परिमाणों की समग्रता है, केवल जब आप उन सभी परिमाणों को पूर्ण करते हैं, आपके वचन आपकी प्रतिबद्धता को पूर्ण करते हैं, तभी आप पूर्णत्व का अनुभव कर सकते हैं, तभी आप सही सचेत जागरूकता का अनुभव कर सकते हैं। केवल जब आपके आसपास जो लोग हैं वे उच्चतम संपूर्ति एवं श्रद्धा के स्थिति में होते हैं, तभी आप पूर्ण तरह से संपूर्ति एवं श्रद्धा का अनुभव कर सकते हैं। When you want to work with your life and transform your life, you have to work with others' life also. Enriching means taking responsibility for everyone. I tell you, when you take responsibility for others, the extraordinary powers starts flowing through you. When you start enriching others, the whole cosmos starts expressing through you. Whenever you enrich others, the energy flows through you is cosmic energy. If you want to experience cosmic energy, just start enriching others now, today. The excitement you feel, the freshness you feel, the readiness happens in you, the joy happening in you, the inspiration happening in you is cosmic energy. Pure cosmic energy. Your past karmas are burnt when you enrich others. When you enrich others to live with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, simply your past karmas are burnt. I have a story. एक सरदार अपने मैरिज सर्टिफिकेट को एक घंटे से देख रहा था। बीवी बोली, तुसी इन्हीं देर से की देख रहे हो? सरदार ने कहा, एक्सपायरी डेट ढूंढ रहा हूं। Listen, your marriage depends upon the stability of your spouse. You cannot be complete in your marriage only if you are stable, you are integrated. If your spouse is not integrated, your marriage cannot be a successful marriage. In every step of your life, you will be successful only with others participating in it. Only when you enrich others. आपकी शादी आपके जीवन साथी की स्थिरता पे आधारित है. One story. A 20-year-old boy comes back to his father, confesses to him, saying that I am in love with our neighbor girl, I am proposing to her, and I wanted to marry her. Father immediately collapses on the sofa and says, no, you can't do that. She is your half-sister. The guy is completely disturbed. Anyhow, obeys the father, comes back after a month with the next proposal saying, the opposite house girl is in love and he is already proposed to her, he wants to marry. Again father collapses and says, no my son, sorry, she is also your stepsister. He begs, don't tell your mom, but it's too much. Third time again he comes back and same thing is repeated. Now it is too much, he is not able to handle, he rushes to his mom and cries, see what your husband has done, whatever my dad has done. Any woman I propose, he says, she's your sister. What can I do? Whom will I marry? Mother says, don't worry my son, among the three you can marry anyone because he is not your father. Understand? Sometimes the lack of integrity of people who live around you costs too much to you. So any completion, any fulfillment, any success is possible only if people around you are also living with integrity and authenticity and fulfillment and completion and responsibility. Without they living integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching, you can't listen. Without the people around you living integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching, you can't achieve completion in integrity, responsibility, authenticity. So enriching is one of the important spiritual vow. In a way, when you enrich others, in few days it comes back to you as more enrichment. Enriching others raises your understanding about tattvas, finally comes back to you as higher enrichment. जब आप दूसरों का उत्तरदायित्व उठाते हैं तो आप में असाधारण शक्तियां प्रदर्शित होती है. यदि आप ब्रह्मांड की शक्ति का अनुभव करना चाहते हैं, बस आज से दूसरों का लाभान्वित करना आरंभ कीजिए. जब आप दूसरों को संपूर्ण श्रद्धा और उत्तरदायित्व के साथ लाभान्वित करते हैं, आपके अतीत के कर्म भस्म हो जाते हैं. आपके आसपास के सभी लोग जब उत्तरदायित्व उठाते हैं तभी आप उत्तरदायित्व उठाने का आनंद ले सकते हैं। एक 20 साल का लड़का अपने पिता के पास जाता है और कहता है मैं एक लड़की से प्रेम करता हूं। पिता ने मूर्छित होकर कहा नहीं, कहा नहीं, कहा नहीं, वह लड़की नहीं, वह तुम्हारे बहन है। कुछ दिनों के बाद लड़का फिर से आता है और दूसरी लड़की के बारे में बताता है। पिता फिर से कहता है नहीं, यह लड़की भी तुम्हारी बहन है। कुछ दिनों के बाद लड़का यही किस्सा फिर से होता है। लड़का बड़ी व्याकुलता के साथ माँ के पास जाता है और यह बात बताता है। मैं कहती है, माँ कहती है दुखी ना हो बीता, दुखी ना हो बेटा, उन तीनों में से तुम कोई भी लड़की से विवाह कर सकते हो क्यों है, क्यों कि तुम्हारा पिता कोई और है। I think still I need little more training to cut jokes in Hindi. I apologize. I'll get trained to crack jokes in Hindi, because if you miss the punchline, you will be laughing in some other time. I can't afford it. जब आपके आसपास जो लोग हैं वह संपूर्ति में नहीं रखते, तब आप भी संपूर्ति एवं पूर्णत्व के स्थिति में नहीं रख सकते हैं। Understand life. Your life is not just yours. Whether you want it or not, understand or not, as long as others are involved in your life, you are involved in others' life. So decide enriching others' life, enriches your life. See all the people who enjoy the infrastructures of the society. Only when they enrich others' life, society enriches them. When you don't enrich others' life, your life cannot be enriched. This is the essence of what I wanted to express today. All the Lotus TV viewers, Satsang will continue on Sadhana TV and Nithyananda TV. If you want to see the Satsang continuously, you can switch to Sadhana TV or Nithyananda TV. We will continue the Satsang. In every step, every level, when you enrich others, life enriches you. When you enrich others, life enriches you. आपका जीवन केवल आपका नहीं है, यह निर्णय कीजिए दूसरों को लाभान्वित करना आपको लाभान्वित करता है। यदि आप दूसरों को लाभान्वित नहीं करेंगे, आप स्वयं भी लाभान्वित नहीं हो सकते हैं। Continuously, only when you decide to enrich, life flows through you. By enriching others, your own heart starts imbibing those truths. Listen, if you are struggling with some problem, you know the solution, your heart is not accepting. Start giving that solution to others, your heart will listen to it. I tell you, if you are struggling with some solution, you are not able to accept it, still the tug of war is going on in you, give that solution to others, your heart will start living it. Listen, the practicing period, if it ends in success, it is called practicing period. If it ends in failure, it is called hypocrisy. Otherwise, in quality, see, while you practice, are you visualizing success in the end? Are you unconsciously imagining failure in the end? If you are unconsciously constantly imagining failure in the end, it is hypocrisy. If you are clear about visualizing success in the end of the tunnel, if the light is seen, it is practice. End of the tunnel, if the darkness is seen, it's hypocrisy. Continuously enrich, enrich, enrich. When you enrich others, you will be enriched. Because knowledge is such, only by enriching you will expand. That is why in Hindu tradition we have this great truth as a faith. If one person becomes sannyasi, the 7th generation is liberated. I tell you, from your family, if anybody has become sannyasi, I can be guaranteed, especially if they are in the Sampradaya of Nithyananda order, I maintain such a high level of purity of sannyas in our Sampradaya, I guarantee if one person in your family has become sannyasi, your 7th generation is liberated. Because they create so much of punya, so much of goodness they create. Because in our Sampradaya, such high integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching is maintained. When you enrich others, not only you, everyone around you, all their karmas are also burnt. जब आप दूसरों को लाभान्वित करते हैं, आप भी लाभान्वित एवं विस्तारित होते हैं। आपके आसपास के अन्य लोग अगर संपूर्ण श्रद्धा, जिम्मेदारी और लाभान्वित किए बिना जी रहे हैं, तो आप संपूर्ण श्रद्धा, जिम्मेदारी और लाभान्वित करने में पूर्णत्व नहीं पाएंगे। इसीलिए लाभान्वित करना एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण व्रत है। दूसरों को लाभान्वित करने से स्वयं आपका हृदय उन सत्यों को अपनाता है। यदि आप कोई समस्या के साथ संघर्ष का अनुभव कर रहे हैं, आपका हृदय आपकी बात नहीं सुन रहा है, आपके बात नहीं सुन रहा है, तो उस समय उस समस्या का समाधान दूसरों को दीजिए। आप देखेंगे कि आपका हृदय उसी बात को सुनता है, अपनाता है। हमारे शास्त्र कहते हैं कि अगर एक मानव सन्यासी बनता है तब उसके वंश में 7 पीढ़ी लाभान्वित हो जाते हैं। हमारे शास्त्र कहते हैं कि अगर एक मानव सन्यासी बनता है तब उसके वंश में 7 पीढ़ी लाभान्वित हो जाते हैं। Enriching others is the best way to use your human life. I tell you, life is a failure if you think in your old age you should have done all this when you were young. In your old age, if you think you should have done something which you have not done when you were young, life is a failure. I tell you, enriching others is the only way you will not feel your life is failure when you are old. That's the only way you will feel your life is a success. The essence of today's satsang is continuously enrich others. दूसरों को लाभान्वित करना ही आपके जीवन का सर्वोत्तम उपयोग है। आज की सत्संग का सारांश है, आपका जीवन एवं वास्तविकता स्वयं और अन्य लोगों के जीवन का मिश्रण है। इसीलिए लगातार स्वयं के साथ साथ अन्य लोगों के जीवन को भी लाभान्वित करते हैं। केवल यही एक मार्ग है जिससे आप अपने जीवन में कोई भी वास्तविकता का सृजन करके उसका अनुभव कर सकते हैं।
Such a beautiful satsang. And if any of our viewers here have any questions, about the power of enriching, about what Swamiji has shared, or if you have any powerful clicks that you have gotten from this satsang, please, leave a comment, and we'll be happy to respond. And I would like to also ask you, Ma Atmadaya, what is the power? Swamiji has actually shared many powerful clicks in this satsang. But what is the most powerful cognition that you have gotten from this satsang? And can you also share a moment in your life when enriching someone else has led to a powerful shift in your own reality?
Important questions. Thank you, Ma, for asking. So the whole satsang, every powerful cognition Swamiji gives is something that expands. The last bit really hit me in terms of in your old age, if you look back and you feel like, I wish I had done this, then it's a failure, and that's really like that's really stuck in my thinking through space, which is actually, it's true. I feel I was heading that way. However, thanks to the entry of Swamiji into my life, I now feel I started to do all the right steps. Like the intelligent part was at a younger age, to allow Swamiji to lead, guide, ordain me so that I could literally turn my life around. So I was heading in the direction of getting older and regretting not being able to do some of the things that I could have done. A simple thing like, it's not so simple, but for Swamiji it was simple enough to give me that shift, which was I wanted to be able to express myself really freely. And before Swamiji came into my life, I was working on stage training, but struggling, really struggling with it. So being able to just simply have that shift, and in 10 days, I went. So before that I had had 2 years or so of training, and I wasn't succeeding. I was still internally shrunk. I thought I wanted to expand, but inside, and I looked like I was doing all the right things to expand, but I wasn't. However, the 10-day training of the Acharya training, I just shifted. I think by day 5 or 6, I had already had a big shift. So within a short period of time, Swamiji supported me to turn things around, where then I moved in the direction of not having regret in my looking back and feeling like I have regret. So that stuck with me just now in the satsang. And what was the second question? And where I
Yes. Yes. So, yes, basically, if you can share a moment in your life when you enriched someone else, and that led to a powerful shift in your own reality.
awakening, one incident is after I'd been to inner awakening, but before that, after I came back from the Acharya training in LA, I found that it was very easy for me to speak into people's listening. Something had shifted just from the decision for expansion, decision to enrich others. Already expansion happened. However, I found that um, straight after I came back from LA, I ended up enriching back to back 20-25 people in a group, at least 5 such sessions. And then I also had a radio event where I was able to share more about Swamiji, share about Inner Awakening. At that time, Inner Awakening was the program that where people could experience quantum transformation in 21 days. So this I found every time somebody experienced healing, somebody got a shift in their, somebody got relief, it added more inspiration, more joy, exactly what Swamiji said in satsang. It added, and I was propelled to do more. So I got more energy. So it's almost like I guess an analogy of investment, so you have some, some schemes, if you like, where you invest your $10 or £10, and then you end up, there's a promise of getting 100 back or 1,000 back or 10 times back or whatever number it is. It's in effect a little bit like that. So when I have decided to add life to somebody, then Cosmos is adding life back to me. So there I found myself getting, like if you, another analogy would be like a flower that hasn't been in water for a very long time, and it's starting to, wilt a bit. And then it gets, you put it into water, and after a little while, it starts to kind of perk up a bit. And then long enough, and it's really perked up and it's in full bloom. So that's the analogy I would use for what started happening for me, in terms of literally the first probably 2 to 3 months. I I started to have this flowering happening inside me. When I look back, I started to become a bit more alive, moving from seeing life in a very black and white and dull space to color being added to me. That's what I would say. Then the incident afterwards was, I won't say an incident, but an event that happened afterwards. After I attended Inner Awakening, I had a friend of mine, actually the same friend, before I went to Inner Awakening, and I was saying that this is what I'm going to be doing. This is changing my life. Would you like to also experience this? She ended up having a dream of the banyan tree. And I was like, wow. There's one thing which is the physical experience, and then this cosmic, very divine experience where you start seeing how the cosmos is engaging. I'm engaging with the cosmos. I'm allowing life to happen, and there's these complete, looks like random things, but very organized. And like Swamiji said, when you turn up and add life to others, then cosmos adds life to you. So she started having experiences of the banyan tree independently, and she started to have darshan. And then the day I called her and I shared about Swamiji, she was suicidal. And she perked up, turned things around, ended up going to Inner Awakening. And when she went to Inner Awakening, I felt, I'm going to Inner Awakening. I literally felt my body is going. So everything Swamiji's mentioned in the satsang, I experienced. Now, just listening back to the satsang, I'm able to map it back. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, yes, ma, definitely, ma. And also, actually, what you shared about how when you decided to, like Samchi mentioned in the satsang, right? When we decide to enrich, when we enrich others, and this is when the cosmos showers on us, and the cosmos is here to serve us. And this is exactly what you actually mentioned, what you're sharing. So, very nice, ma. And can you also share, let's say, for example, you were enriching somebody and then you were met with resistance from that person, or that person challenged you when you try to enrich. Did you ever had any such experience, and how did you tackle this situation?
And what Swamiji said in the satsang, that life, it's happening where others are. So it's not separate from others. It involves others. So I have learned over, even more so recently. So it's been a journey. I have seen lots of people say no, and there are times when I've called people and they're like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to listen to this. And then I've gone back and I've thought it through. I'm like, what is the resistance? What is it? And the understanding that actually they are just reflecting back to me my own resistance, and going back and coming back with a solution. So come back with a solution, think through what is it that the person that I'm speaking to is having a resistance to. And usually it may be they may not have the money to attend, the example, wanting to attend Inner Awakening. They don't have the money to attend, or even listening to the idea of attending Inner Awakening. Many a times it was like, well, no, that's not for me. I don't need it. I don't think it's for 21 days. I don't have the time. Yeah, nothing's wrong with me. My life is perfectly fine, etc. All of these things I have heard, and just patiently first sharing about Swamiji, and have been quite clear and convinced that it has really helped me, and therefore it is something that can make a difference. So even this friend of mine, for instance, for the longest time she didn't want to hear, and then in the moment where she was stuck, I calmly said to her, well, I'm doing these meditations. I'm doing Nitya Dhyan meditations. I'm doing the Mahamantra meditation. It's really helping me. How about you have a go? So in that moment where there was no more resistance left. She was able to take it on, experience it, feel the shift, and then see more and more expansion happen for herself. So I would say that there isn't a time when people have, there are times when people say no. There's a clear no. The point has been never to give up on people. As Swamiji says, never give up. Continue to find ways to speak into their listening, because ultimately I'm speaking into my own listening. So wherever I am, like, in the satsang, Swamiji said, where you are stuck, that same solution, share with many people, or attempt to work with people that are also, so if I'm having money problems, for instance, also speak into the listening of people and provide a solution, then my heart will be convinced of that solution. Does that make sense? So what Swamiji said in satsang, actually this satsang is worth watching multiple times, not just once, but many times over. So then all the questions that you're asking, I can even see the answers right there in the satsang, map back to what I would need to implement, and only when I implement it will I find a result. So implementing the solution Swamiji gives is when the result happens. If I am skirting around and I'm thinking, oh well, I'll do some part of this, but I won't do the other part because this part is uncomfortable, so I'll do only this part, then that doesn't work. Then there's no result. Then there is still stuckness. So the only way to do it is to apply it fully.
Definitely, Ma. And then, also Swamiji says that when you enrich others, you're taking responsibility for the other person. And this is exactly what you actually described, because if you did not take responsibility for the other person, you wouldn't have been able to shift, to enrich and shift the other person and cause the other person's reality, right? So, then how did enriching others make you, like yourself, more authentic, more integrated, and even more powerful in your own life?
Okay, so I guess it's the persistence. So once I went to Inner Awakening, I decided that I'll be part of Enriching Temple. And Enriching Temple is Enriching Temple. It's all about, I didn't know what it was about. I was like, yes, I'm saying yes to it. So then it was a case of I would get to speak to 5 people. So I was given 5 people's numbers who wanted to come to Inner Awakening. Okay, so they wanted to attend Inner Awakening just like I had already attended. So now I get to speak to 5 others and support them to manifest their reality. Now, the first time I called the 5 numbers, I don't think everybody answered my call, and a lot of them said, no, I can't, no, it's not the right time, etc., etc. And then that 5, there were 2 other persons as well that were supposed to be calling. They had their own 5 numbers. And the first time I called, I thought, okay, that's all I needed to do. But no, then I got the guidance that do it again and do it again and again. And then I just got involved to the point where I call sincerely every single day. So if I said I will do this, Swamiji said integrity means keeping the word and thought that you give to yourself and to others, and to turn up in the space of completion. Okay, so this means I must call. Authenticity means being at the peak of my possibility in all 4 images, which is my inner image, outer image, others image, and life image. So then that means I'm stretching myself. Responsibility is me understanding that I am the source of everything happening in and around me. Okay, so if that person is saying no, somewhere it's reflecting back to me, and it isn't happening in my reality, so I am the source of this happening too. So look in. Now, the journey of applying this in the whatever understanding I had at that moment in time, I wouldn't say I had complete understanding. I wouldn't say I have complete understanding now. It's a journey, it's an ongoing journey. However, in that, I would say the 5 numbers, which turned then became 15 numbers, okay? All of them, I made a folder. I started organizing. These are the names, these are the people. So each person had a page each. And then I would write down the day I called and what happened on that day. And then eventually, out of those 15, pretty much it turned into 20. So I ended up going from 5 persons that I was speaking to, it went to 20. And then out of the 20, pretty much all of them ended up at Inner Awakening. And then from there, it went to a larger number, to now where it is UK, Europe, and Africa. Okay, so how did those 5 turn into 2 to 3 zones, or 2 zones and a country, an island? Is just applying the tattvas as Swamiji shared, and whatever understanding I had, correcting myself, allowing others to correct me, allowing Bhagwan himself to correct me, so that I would align correctly to the 4 powers as they're meant to be lived. So I would say that consistently turning up every day, and even if there is a failing, it would be failing into Swamiji's lap. So applying all of the guidance every step of the day, every step of the way, every day, Swamiji in satsang would guide, and there would be an answer. So if I'm struggling today, for instance, I would go to Nithyananda AI for a solution, Swamiji satsang for a solution. It would be reading Living Enlightenment book, Bhagavad Gita decoded. All of these places, resources, I'm mentioning some. There are hundreds of thousands of resources. Nityanandapedia, all of Swamiji's YouTube channels, Facebook, everywhere, all social media. There's so many places to receive source of inspiration. So how did it happen? It's literally day by day, whatever understanding I had of the 4 tattvas, living it and allowing them to become alive in me, become experience in me. That's what I would say.
So beautiful, Ma. Actually, what you're sharing is a very nice segue to the next satsang that we are going to listen, Swamiji's satsang. It's about how enriching is life's only pleasure. And yes. So, without further ado, let's listen to this satsang of Swamiji. And then I would like to invite you to share how this is actually your personal experience, how enriching has become your life's only pleasure. Because listening to you, Ma, I can actually see and feel that this is the reality for you. It has become the reality for you. So, so let us go ahead and listen to Swamiji's satsang.
I wanted you to get it. Life has no pleasure other than enriching. Anything else other than enriching drives you in your life. I am not saying you are wrong, but all I am trying to tell you is you are wrong. I will not say you are wrong out of social politeness, but the truth is you are wrong. Anything else drives your life, reason for the drive, reason for pushing you to live, other than enriching, please understand it is out of powerlessness. When you internalize this truth, enriching is the only purpose of life. In some form or other, constantly enriching others. Understand? I don't want to restrict enriching to only sending people to inner awakening. That is the greatest enriching, no doubt. But even if you are working in a shoe company, making shoes, you can be enriching. You are a part of the mechanism which provides shoes to people. Even if you are working the field of agriculture, producing vegetables, oil, milk, you are in the field of enriching. But you have to be so sure, very clear. You have to be very clear and very sure. Please listen. Even in your deepest hypocrisy, the hypocrisy has layers and layers in you. Even in your deepest layer, you are not hypocritical about your goal, your purpose, your reason to exist. Just enriching. Other than enriching, if you find anything else as a driving force of your life, complete with it. Anything else, if it is a driving force in your life, it's powerlessness. It is powerlessness. Let the enriching be the one and only goal, driving force in the life. Let the enriching be the only energy which drives you, which drives your intelligence, which drives you, which drives you to the idea of fulfillment. Understand? Any idea of fulfillment you carry other than enriching, you are going to experience hopelessness and depression. Any hope you carry other than enriching will lead you to hopelessness. Life is for enriching. The purpose you got embodied, the purpose for which you assumed the human body is only for enriching. Whenever I sit in front of Nithyanandeshwara or Kalabhairava, I look only at me and say, hey, be in the space of only enriching. Nothing else, nothing else, nothing else. Be in the space of only enriching. I tell you, when you enrich somebody with the inner awakening, you give the best things. Best thing to that person. He himself becomes a complete being. Understand? See, for example, you are in the field of engineer or lawyer or a doctor. If you understand whatever you are doing is enriching and continue to live, only you will be enriching. But if you give inner awakening as enriching to others, you make others also enriching. That is the ultimate enriching. I tell you, most of us have a pattern of fear of facing conflicts, fear of getting cornered. This is one of the biggest fear human beings carry. Please listen. Why people are not enriching others? Why you are afraid of enriching others into inner awakening? Because you are afraid of getting questions. You are afraid of facing questions. I tell you, exactly for that reason only you have to enrich. Constantly put yourself in a challenging positions, conflicting places, contradicting situations. Constantly put yourself in a place where you are cornered. I tell you, only then you will be alive, fresh, living. You will be radiating. You will be in your peak possibility. If you want to be successful in your business, start enriching people for inner awakening. You will constantly face conflicts, contradictions. You will put yourself constantly in a challenging positions, places that will train and sharpen your whole intelligence and consciousness. You will be successful in your business. Listen. Why people don't want to talk to their friends or family or enrich others with a inner awakening? The powerlessness they feel, the fear of facing questions. Fear of facing questions. I tell you, when you start enriching people to live integrity, authenticity, first question they will ask you is, are you living integrity and authenticity? Then naturally you have to declare, yes, I am living. The moment you declare, now you have become responsible for your word. Simply you have to live it. Otherwise they are going to constantly question you. They are going to be constantly making fun of you. So I tell you, when you start enriching others, you put yourself in a space, in a situation where you live integrity, authenticity. You live the Dhamma. I tell you, that is where you will really, really, really live spiritual strength. When you are enriching, you have to make declarations because people are not going to believe you. They will question you. You have to make a lot of declarations. That declarations will make you live four tattvas more powerfully, more strongly. That is why I am telling you. Enriching makes you continuously getting enlightened. Enriching makes you enlightened. I tell you, if you can make your spouse and boss attend inner awakening, if you can enrich your spouse and boss with inner awakening, I can say you crossed half of the journey towards enlightenment. Because these two are going to be constantly monitoring you. They are going to be trying to find fault. Simple truth, straight away. Anything, listen, I can tell you 108 anything other than enriching is powerlessness. Only enriching is powerfulness. Operate only out of the cognition of enriching. Enriching others and you. You can never achieve completion just by completion, because just by completion you will not know. Please listen. Just by completion you will not know whether you are complete or not. Your self-doubt will continue to rule you. Put yourself in the space of enriching others. When you start enriching, all the questions you face, only when you answer them, when you relate with people, able to enrich people, only then you will have confidence over you. You will have confidence over you. Please understand. You will have confidence over you. Till you enrich others, your completion can never be complete. If you observed, even yesterday I said very clearly, after blessing Ma Vishweshwara, I told her, take up the project of graceful exit. Only when you share these experiences with others, only when you enrich the world with this experience, that gets strengthened in you. This experience does not get lost in your self-doubts. Otherwise, after a few days, oh, who knows what it is? Still I carry this integrity, that authenticity problem. You will create self-doubt, and in that self-doubt, the strength of this experience can be forgotten, can get washed away. Don't allow that. So the essence of today's satsang, only with enriching, completion becomes complete. Enriching is the war you wage for me. Because in enriching, you will face so many conflicts which you are always afraid to face. I tell you, fear of conflicts, fear of getting cornered, fear of facing the controversies is one of the biggest powerlessness we have. We always feel what others will tell. And he is afraid what you will tell. We try to control everyone through our tongue and get controlled by others' tongues. This is what I call Maya, delusion. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share, and explode in eternal bliss. Nithyananda.
Such a enriching session and satsang. And as we are coming close to the end of the show, I do have one question for Madhmadaya. What is your thoughts, Ma, about this satsang that we've just listened to, and how has what Swamiji has shared, the truth that Swamiji has shared, that enriching is life's only pleasure, how has this become a reality for you?
True, listening to Swamiji's, I've listened to this satsang a long time ago, but I don't remember it very clearly. What I take away from Swamiji's satsangs, when of course these were back in 2013, 14, that kind of time, so 11 years ago. Swami, listening to satsang and then implementing it, it maps back, so it's so true. I don't feel fulfilled if I can feel inside me that I'm not feeling complete unless I have done something to expand life, like go and maybe solve a issue, a problem somebody's having, listen to them, see what is the issue, somehow support that person to move from where they're stuck to the next steps, etc. I have to say that the days that I haven't done it, what Swamiji says is completion on its own is not enough. It actually doesn't. There are many times I get a click and I can't wait to share it. So even if someone doesn't necessarily want to listen to me, I will share it, and then I'll be like, let me share it, and then I'll handle whatever else comes up after that, So so true that the only pleasure, because it's so fulfilling, it's just so fulfilling to be able to have, like, it feels like I contributed to somebody's life, and in effect that brought the true feeling of I feel good about me. Not because I see there, I've done charity before. I was explaining to somebody the other day. It's like they said to me, I keep giving and giving and giving and giving, and now I feel burnt out. I've done that. I've done that before, where I'm giving, but I'm burnt out because that whole thing was not about enriching, adding life to the other person. It was more about doing it from a space of powerlessness, running on empty, hoping for abundance to land. That's not what enriching is all about. There's a total difference. But as the question was, the entire satsang is a map back into what is actually happening. I can see it, unfolding right in front of my eyes. So I would say, yes, it is the purest pleasure. There are no side effects, after effects. There is nothing to give, take, nothing like this. It's just enjoying pure bliss and oneness with that person, with myself, and in effect with the cosmos.
So true, Ma. And then is also, Ma, Swamiji is not just preaching about enriching. He's the very embodiment of enriching. He's the very embodiment of the power of enriching. I mean, just at just the age of 3, he started giving satsangs. And today, and at just the age of 21, he's built this international mission of KAILASA. And and today we have over 16,000 ecosystems, KAILASA ecosystems across the whole globe. And it is because of just one person's enriching has even built a whole nation of KAILASA, the only Hindu nation. So it's just amazing when when we look at the tyaga that Swamiji has done. He's yes, he is the embodiment of enriching itself, and he's also sharing this power of enriching to others, right? And it's just so amazing to see the amount of hard work and sacrifices that Swamiji has done, you know, to revive this whole Sanatan Hindu Dharma and revive the only nation of Kailasa. And yes, Ma. And we would like to invite our audience to come attend Paramashiva Sena program that is happening in August. It's starting August 1st in Kailasa, Los Angeles, as well as in Kailasa in St. Kitts and Nevis. So please come and receive the blessings and initiation of Swamiji and get initiated into the powers of enriching, causing, integrity, and authenticity. So with this, we come to the end of the show. And thank you so much, Ma Atmadaya. It is very late for you. It is 3 a.m. in UK at your place. And it was such a pleasure and to have you on the show and listen to you and your experiences with Swamiji. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. And now let's end with the Purna Mantra. ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदश्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओं तत्सत् सर्वं भगवत् श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवं पादुकार्पणमस्तु ॐ नित्यानन्दम्